Would the members of the Budget Committee please report to Committee Room 1 for quorum?
Good morning, everybody. I think we will begin the meeting. We do have quorum, and I'd like to call the 12th meeting of the Budget Committee to order. I'd like to acknowledge the land we're meeting on is on the traditional territory of the many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee, and Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. And we also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube Live at Toronto City Council Live, or you can follow on your computer or tablet. Are there any declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none, may I have a motion to confirm the minutes of the Budget Committee meeting on November 25th, 2019. Councillor Bradford will move that. All in favour? Opposed? That is carried. I would also like to just add one item of new business to our agenda. It is a proposed item for our we're going across the city for consultations. We will be splitting up the Budget Committee into two separate subcommittees, and there's a letter there just outlining where and who will be going there. I've tried to, by the way, when I made the decisions on who is going to be going on what committee, I wanted to make sure we all had the opportunity to go to different parts of the city that we may not have had to done in the past. So hence that was the reason why I did it in the way I did. So let's move to... sorry, we have to add that item formally. So I'd like to move that we add that item. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Okay. So we now have 5 items on the agenda. Let's proceed with the rundown. So go to BU 12.1, the Capital Variance Report for 9 months ending September 30th, 2019. Are there any questions on the item?
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I can't get into my computer, so I have to paper all of a sudden.
No worries. We're on capital, yeah. It just came in. Seeing no questions, any speakers to the item? If not, can I get a mover of the item? Councillor Bradford will move the capital variance report. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Going to BU 12.2, the operating variance report for 9 months ending September 30th, 2019. Are there questions of staff? Okay. Okay, yeah, we do have executive and council, of course, for more opportunities, so. Okay. See, Councillor Layton, we're just on the operating variance report, BU 12.2. Want to know if there's any questions from on any of the items? Okay. Would you like to move the item?
Yes.
Great. Councillor Layton will move.
Great.
Here we are. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. On to BU 12.3, the reserves, council directed and obligatory reserve fund, balance report September 30th, 2019. Any questions? Councillor Layton?
Sure, and this is just more a matter of when we can expect a report back about how our reserve funds are being invested now and how that investment policy might change to reflect a higher standard for environmental, social, and governance values.
So through the chair, the Toronto Investment Board actually met this week, and we will be bringing forward to the committee in Q1 some recommendations made by the investment board, as well as the performance of the investments over throughout 2019.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions from councillors? I have a few. Just some questions with regard, I think it's Appendix B2, the loan receivable balances. Can you just go over just generally how we determine from this, as a city, how we do these loans to various organizations all across the city? What sort of templates, what do we use in providing loans to organizations?
So through the chair, I'm going to ask Andrew Flynn, my mistake, the city controller, to answer.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, each of the individual loan programs are dealt with respect to specific criteria, different program responsibilities. So individually, the loan agreements would be negotiated with the proponents at particular interest rates and repayment terms. All, of course, subject to council approval at the time they were entered into.
And a lot of them are really low interest, no interest loans. What would be the purpose of that?
So specifically, Councillor, I'd have to look at the specific programs to answer that question. I can certainly get back to you.
Would it be generally a lot of these loans, they're benefiting the city in some respect that, you know, we want to promote good work in the city? That's probably one of the reasons. We don't need to be making money from these, as an example?
No, they're generally speaking to provide investments in infrastructure, provide affordable housing. They support the other agencies and corporations of the city. So there's, generally speaking, always that type of reason for the loan in the first place.
Okay. I've noticed also the vast majority, when I'm looking at the loan amounts over the last year, there's vast majority of them, they are being paid down at a certain rate. Some haven't. St. Peter's and Paul Ukrainian Community Center, even Evangel Hall. I'm just curious, why would there be times where there's no payment over between December 31st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019? Wouldn't you expect it to be?
So in a number of the cases, there's a period of time where there's no repayment, and then they will start and be repaid.
Oh, okay. And with regard to, we've heard comments, and I guess we had one issue come up at committee last week from TO Live about a long-standing loan that we had to forgive, or bad loans. Can you just talk a bit about how you manage to ensure that we don't get into those situations with bad loans? Because we have quite a few here. Can you just comment on that?
So the TO Live situation was a different scenario. That was not a formal loan agreement. That was a historical balance that was not set up in a formal loan arrangement like these. These ones are set up as formal loan agreements with negotiated repayment terms and interest rates. So it's an entirely different scenario.
So the vast majority of the loans that we give out are repaid over time?
Well, not all, but the vast majority, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I don't know that there's any that we currently have that are in default.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions on that item? Speakers? Seeing none, I had all my questions answered on that, so I don't need to speak. Councillor Nunziato moved the item. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. BU 12.4 is the next item, Information and Technology 2019 to 28 Capital Plan Adjustments and Accelerations and Deferrals. Questions? Seeing none, no speakers. Councillor McKelvey would love to move that motion, I think, would she? Excellent. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And we have the new item, which is in pink paper in front of you. Any questions about that? Again, it's just where we're going to be going during the community consultations between the 4 sites across the city. Seeing none? Okay. Again, as I said, I try to balance it out every year and making sure people have... Yeah, but I do too. I've been to Scarborough the last couple of years, so I need to now get out to Etobicoke. So, yeah. Anyway, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. I also like hanging out with you. Absolutely. We'll drive out together. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.